Hello, welcome back to Evolution Organics YouTube channel. Welcome to Core Evolution, where I am today, the office that I predominantly spend my time in. My name's Henry Maitland, and I'm a specialist in holistic health and wellness. Today we're going to be looking at 3 things you need to know about optimal health. We've got learn to move your body to become strong and stable, eat well, enjoy your food and connect to the environment it came from, and from serenity and calm find inner peace and power. Those are the 3 kind of subject titles we're going to look at a very brief view on today, and I'm going to expand those out hugely in the months and years to come, because there's a lot to talk about in each of those key areas. Elsewhere in this newsletter, if you are joining us on a Sunday morning live, so to speak, from the Evolution Organics newsletter, then you're going to find an article, I think, on some wonderful recipe from Mary Ev. I'm not sure what's going in there today. Mary Ev being my beautiful wife. She is a very, very good cook, and she knows a lot about nutrition. So the recipes she puts together really are nutritionally dense, superfood, super tasty. I get to sample them myself, and I really enjoy them. She's genuinely very, very good. So if you're in the newsletter, check it out. Really worth having a look. Challenge yourself, get on board, do some cooking, post the results, tell us how you've got on, stick it on Instagram, all that kind of stuff. Remember to like the video if you can, it's always very helpful, and subscribe so that you get updated when we post new video content. As I get going with this, I can assure you that I have a lot of content which is actually life-changing. It is significant, and I've spent 28 years contemplating it, and the last 20 years working with proper detailed analytics measurements, and therefore being able to accurately learn and change trajectory and change my therapeutic style over decades and tens of thousands of hours of client time to hone things to get the most consistent and optimal responses. I'm still doing that today. I've got a lot of decades left in me, but I got some serious stuff to teach you, and I'm frankly excited to do so. I've just got to let it all unfurl from my beingness. So, in previous newsletters and things I've written about, and we've talked a lot about generally in Evolution Organics, obviously we think that supplements are very important. They're a key part of anyone's health and wellness program. I think in a world today where we have a lot of environmental toxicity, whether that be air pollution, water pollution, highly recommend water filtration systems, or whether we're looking at pollutants coming through our food supply, which are going to be fairly immense if one doesn't manage it properly. Supplements really are, I think, an essential part of modern life if you're looking to be healthy, because it helps us raise the game and build the profile of nutritional densities in our bodies, nutritional potency in our body, to help rehabilitate the gut, particularly when we're living in an environment which is not conducive to ideal gut health. And if you look at just the gut biome on its own, the research coming out now verifies what I was lucky enough to be learning 20 years ago with Paul Chek in California, really looking at gut rehabilitation and seeing how critical it is to our psychology, to our physiology, and therefore to our mechanics and how we move and how healthy we feel, how healthy our joints feel. It's really, everything is entirely interrelated. So supplements are indeed a crucial part of the aspiring regime of any health person, anyone into health and wellness. So yeah, we want to make sure that they're well processed, ideally organic, natural, whole food is the preference when that is possible. There's obviously circumstances whereby it's just not necessary. It's not what that supplement's about. At which point what we're looking for is integrity and processing and making sure we've got really high quality supplements. We're completely independent, so there is only a preference to find the best quality things we possibly can and bring them together to provide them for you. And that's what we spend our time doing, is researching and looking at products and trying to find things that are going to be high quality and ideal for all of you to take, and things that we would of course use ourselves. Supplements, however, are supplemental. That's key, you know. They're super powerful. Yes, they're necessary, as I've just described. Yes, they should come from organic, whole food or natural sources. This is all contextual, foundational stuff. But it's the other powerhouse things. It's all the other things that we can do in our lives to become healthier, weller, happier, that are the foundational pieces that allow supplements to be powerful. A wise man once said, you don't want to put titanium nails in a driftwood boat. Supplements are expensive if you've got a terrible gut function, you're not eating well, you're not looking after yourself mentally or spiritually, perhaps you're not looking after your body. You're going to have to pay an awful lot of money in supplements to try and regulate the balance. What we want to be doing is using all these other powerful health strategies in our lives to help better regulate our bodies. And then we want to be introducing supplements to lift everything. We want to be putting them into an environment that's already rich and healthy and growing and healing to expand and dimensionalize that experience. And that's when they become really powerful. So learning to move your body to become strong and stable, huge subject. It's where I really genuinely have spent conservatively 25,000 hours of client time looking, measuring, talking to people, and gleaning all that experience in how to finesse people's bodies back to health and wellness. So, this can be explained in one simple thing. Now, I'm fully aware that we're going to have this is Norbert. I'm fully aware that we're going to potentially have the entire spectrum of folks out there from have no idea about skeletal balance or the skeleton, or really physically anything to do with the body. I've certainly worked with clients before who were surprised to find they had legs. They were highly academic and weren't necessarily at all invested in the body. And then I would imagine there's folks out there that are doctors, physios, chiropractors, osteopaths, yoga teachers, all sorts of beautiful, wonderful healing professions. So I'm going to do as I do, and I'm going to try and find the middle ground. When I'm speaking with a client, normally I'm tuning into where they are and trying my best to give clear explanations, meeting them where they are, right? So this is a slightly bizarre and more technical project. So leave comments, please. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you want to know. Tell me what you want to hear. I do have a mass of knowledge that is worth mining into. I'm going to just adjust the camera slightly so you can see Norbert's pelvis there. I'm undoubtedly going to cover the screen. There we go. There's a little bit more of Norbert's pelvis. So, physical body. Here's what happens. This is everybody that I've ever worked with. Here's the skeleton. Here's the pelvis, right, middle of the skeleton. I'm just going to give you this as a snippet because it kind of is the overriding principle. You've got two ilium and a sacrum, okay? Two ilium and a sacrum, two big bones. In all people I have ever worked with, full stop, these bones are in significant disposition, and that is the primary driver of their pain. And I've seen people who have had 15 plus years of chronic pain, primarily because of this disposition. It takes about 45 minutes max to really bring this back into a healthy, balanced, flexible, pliable position, and to do some work on the muscles around it. It's not the answer in and of itself, but it is a very, very, very significant piece. So why is that so important? When you're learning about your body to become strong and stable, do you go to the gym? Do you train? Do you do yoga? Do you do Pilates? Do you go running? Do you climb? Do you hill run, tennis, badminton, golf? I did a specialization with the Czech Institute in Golf Biomechanics. It doesn't matter what you do. If you have a body and you use it, it is preferable to know if this structure is balanced. Because in my experience, which is self-evident, every person I've ever seen, bar actually one, in my entire career has relatively significant disposition and imbalance. That means if they're going to weight train hard enough to make a difference, they're going to get worse, not better. You can get short-term gain by stimulating muscle function and getting stronger, but it's going to be heavily compensated. When you're truly working hard enough to make a difference, I guarantee you're going to break. It's a fact. And that has been completely self-evident through all the work that I've done. So, I'm going to teach you and explain how to normalize this structure, how to rebalance your entire body, how to recondition your entire body to actually get incredibly strong and stable, which is a completely categorically verified process. I'm not doing this to try and get clients. I'm doing this because I have too many. So I'd rather share this information. I have an extensive waiting list. So, please let's use this medium if we can. And that's why I'm saying ask questions. And as I said, I'll show you how to do all of that. So all by way of saying, if you have a body, I would highly recommend tuning into what I'm going to teach and learning about it, because it's the most insane bit of biotechnology. It's the most insane bit of technology you'll ever have in your life. And wow, why drive a Mini when you can drive a Ferrari? You may as well tune that sucker in and get it working well. And it's a massive aspect of the foundation to health and long-term longevity. Yeah, so that we're mechanically sound when we're older. So obviously lots to unpack around that. I'm going to try and move on because my teaching style could become a little bit extensive. So eat well, enjoy food, connect to the environment it came from. That's the entire basis really of Evolution Organics and the basis of that model. So started Evolution Organics because we want to be part of the movement towards organic farming. Yeah, increase in biodiversity, tree planting, soil quality, reduction in herbicides and pesticides, potentially, but absolutely not as an exact consequence of organic, but the movement towards relocalization. Can we go to a market and buy local organic or just locally grown food? It doesn't have to be organic, it doesn't need that specificity, but well-grown local food. So it's really this rich connecting point to the realization that because we're supporting and working towards supporting organic products, we're walking in the direction of what I see as a foundational principle of our ecological recovery. And the beauty of it is that our investment in ecological recovery is to become healthy. Healthy in mind, I'm going to go into that. Healthy in body, buy organic, rehabilitate your gut. Healthier in mind, healthier in body, rehabilitate, buy organic, rehabilitate the land, rehabilitate the soil, relocalization. It's all of these things are one beautiful morphous whole. And as we get into that, then you can see this is a really empowering construct, because all we got to do is walk in the direction of getting resonantly healthy, yeah? And if we become resonantly healthy and lift ourselves, then in turn we can lift the planet. I don't see any more empowering and healthier medium for engaging in the process of everything we know we need to do to make really positive change for our environment. So, pretty cool. That's really what that's about. I also wrote a little bit there about metabolic typing and understanding your diet type. Now, there's a book, Metabolic Typing, by Trish Fahey, I think, and William Walcott. I was recommended that 20 years ago, I guess, by Paul Chek. A phenomenal book. It just says that. You don't even really have to get into metabolic typing. It's just super logical. I don't know why we get what I do, actually, but easier to say at this stage, I don't know why, but people get very conflicted, emotionally positionalized about diet. So on one end of the scale, you have folks who might do well on a really high carbohydrate diet. On this end of the scale, you have folks that might do really well on a protein diet. There's no conflict, man. You just got to look at the scale and say, well, do I need a lot of protein, fats and oils, or do I do best on this? And then you can test and measure to find out where you are on the scale. Hold that in the context of food quality, high quality food, whether you're carbohydrate type, high quality food, whether you need more protein, or whether you sit somewhere in the middle. In my experience, in the experience of all people that I know that have worked in diet, actually, people tend to do best on a higher protein diet. Now that can be a higher protein plant-based diet, or it can be a higher protein meat-based diet. But you see what I mean? There's no conflict. It's just finding out where you are, where you're going to be healthiest. Proteins, fats, oils, and carbohydrates. If you get the macronutrients sorted out, you're going to be lean as a bean. You're going to, well, you will meet yourself where you need to be. Some people are just leaner than others. But you'll get resonant biochemical health. That's hugely important to rehabilitate your gut, because if your gut's inflamed, your deep abdominal stabilizers can get shut down and you can't stabilize your pelvis. And then you're back to Norbert with an unstable pelvis and painful butt muscles, a scoliotic spine and an atlas rotation. So yeah, this is again the interrelationship between all things. So there it is. Check out metabolic typing. We'll talk loads more about that kind of scale and where everybody is on it and how easy it is to tune into it. From serenity and calm, find certainty and power. So, each of these pieces I'm going to draw out and talk to you about the narrative of my life, because I've been on a very significant journey on each of these pieces. And in sharing that journey with you, I hope that we begin to find some relationship, right? You can relate. You'll be able to go, wow, man, I've had chronic fatigue, or I've had post-viral fatigue, or I've had a disc injury, or I had chronic back pain, or yeah, I did lose the use of my leg, or a significant jaw injury, or significant shoulder injury, or significant ankle or foot injury, or significant psychological problems, or very significant stress, or depression. Any of those things, bring it on, man. I think I've pretty much, in a very well-rounded way, walked through and healed all of them, right? Always an ongoing project, of course. One is not fully evolved. However, there's a lot to share there, and I will share my personal narrative and story on all of it, and I think we'll find a lot of meeting points, and you'll be able to learn a lot from my experience in healing myself, and of course working extensively with clients over tens of thousands of hours to help them heal too. The reason I say that before I talk a little about serenity and calm and finding certainty and power is it's actually now the space where I've spent really the majority of my time. I won't get into the story of some of it now, but mindfulness, meditation, ceremony, learning to look within. It's nothing strange about that. Like, everyone has emotions, man. Not everyone's aware that they have emotions, but they do. I can assure you, we all have them, unless you've already transcended and you're like a Buddha, in which case, fair enough. That's just something slightly different. But everyone else, yeah, may got stuff rising. We have emotions. So I want to talk a lot about that because, as I said, I spent a lot of time there. It's where I've done extensive work within myself, and it's the foundation that holds everything else. Everything literally sits within the context of your emotions, right? It's just how it is, man. Emotions rising, vibration, emotion, energy moving. It just is energy moving in your body. It's vibration, and your entire cellular physiology is responding to that. It's the basis of your psychology. Why do you think what you think? We think what we think because of the emotions kind of hitting the brain. There's a voice of fear, there's a voice of guilt, there's a voice of shame. Those are all psychological dynamics. So we have emotion, repressed, unconscious, semi-conscious, conscious. We have the full expression of that physiologically in the body. So just one example. This has been a pretty wild time for everybody. I'm pretty confident in saying that most people have been experiencing more stress, more anxiety than they might have otherwise been experiencing through radical shift within our society. So, fight or flight response, fear rising. Fear changes the physiology of the body. It changes the way the organs work. We have blood drawn away from the guts for digestion, assimilation, drawn to the peripheries for attack and defense. So the digestive system's changing function. Huge shift in psychology, huge shift in perception. Yeah? That's tightening of muscles as blood is drawn to the muscles for attack and defense. So we have a tightening of muscle structure, a change in posture, a change in movement, a change in body physiology, a change in biochemistry, all stemming from emotion, the context into which all things sit. So, mindfulness, meditation, last thing I'll say is the breath. Just sitting and breathing is one of the principal, well, not just sitting and breathing, we'll do a whole numerous videos I guess just on breathing, but just breathing, belly breathing, down into the abdomen. 2/3 here, 1/3 here. 2/3 here, 1/3 here. Learning to breathe down into the belly is the mechanical meeting point between energy, emotion, and the mechanics of the body. Amazing, super powerful, helps calm the fight or flight response, helps settle down body physiology. You just learn to follow the breath in and out. So there's a little technique for the day, but I wanted to just introduce each part. I wanted to tell you that I'm going to be expanding out on each one of those dimensionally. I want to empower you to know that your health and wellness and your journey of health and wellness can be a vibrant, positive and true activity towards the movement we all need to make in ecology and environmental wellness, in supporting our planet, that they're completely intrinsically linked, and you can be empowered in the knowledge that that's the truth. And otherwise, enjoy your Sunday, enjoy your day. I hope this has been helpful. I really look forward to expanding out all of these topics. Enjoy Mariette's recipe. Go do some cooking and find some nutritionally dense food. Enjoy Emma's article on antipods and skincare. Remember, what you're putting on your skin is really important. You don't want to be absorbing chemicals into your bloodstream. We want to be reducing that physiological load. Have a great day. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.